made it. He
Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome in to Motormouth Broadcasting, and welcome in to the Full Throttle GT Championship, brought to you by the one and only Roasted Record, as we go racing here tonight for round 5 of season 4, live from the Brickyard at Indianapolis Motor Speedway. We prepare ourselves for 60 minutes of racing, as these drivers will get prepped and ready to run through qualifying and into the 60-minute race. Multi-class action returns once again, with sports car racing taking the forefront here in Indianapolis. Hamish Munro here with you alongside the great Jim Cunningham. And Jim, as we come into tonight, the GT3 Pro, Pro-Ams, AMs, and the GT4 drivers are prepping themselves for this wondrous race around the Brickyard for what is going to mark the end of the first stage of the season. As next week, when we'll go out to Interlagos, it'll mark the first endurance race of the championship with a 90-minute running next week in Brazil.
well, I didn't realize I got promoted to the great Jim Cunningham. That's awesome. I feel even better
That's
about myself now.
great, spelt with a J is what that is, Jim.
Is that what that is?
Yeah, for Jim.
Yes, I get it. I always wanted to open a weight room, and call it Jim's Gym. I know it's bad, but anyway, well, we'll start them off. We'll start them off really bad tonight, and it'll probably just go downhill from there. No, it's good to be here, man. It's good to be here at Indianapolis. I'll be straight with you. I'm not the biggest huge fan of this particular track. You know how I feel about Rovals in general, but I am excited for the action around here tonight. I think we're gonna get some good racing, but I have to say. My eyes are looking forward to 90 minutes at Interlagos next week. I cannot get that out of my head. That is going to be so amazing. So,
Will indeed.
yeah, I'm here. I'm excited for some action tonight, but definitely got my eyes forward for Interlagos. But Indianapolis Motor Speedway is, as an American, this is the track that was the historic, famous speedway growing up, the Indianapolis 500, and, the fact that I'm old enough that you couldn't watch the Indy 500 live. You had to listen to it on the radio, and then they would replay it the following weekend for like an hour-long broadcast. This place holds special memories for that. Just not a huge fan of the road course. Just to me, it doesn't have a lot of character. It's just flat.
I am a preferer of the old road course, Jim, if I'm honest with you. The one that has the dog leg in the first sector, you come bounding round the bowl at the final corner instead of going into that little sort of switchback section of final corners that the modern road course has. I think the old variant, in which uses, 2 corners out of the oval and has the dog leg in the first sector, I think is a much better circuit in terms of racing.
Well,
But I still think that this variant of the circuit can give us plenty of good racing as well.
let's Why don't we take a look
Yeah.
at this variant of the circuit while we're here entering into the warm up section of the event. So let's pull that up.
Of course, it is the modern variant of the Indianapolis Motor Speedway road course that we're at tonight, one which is ran by, of course, IMSA and Pilot Challenge as well during the weekend of the Brickyard 6 hour. Previously was the Brickyard Grand Prix, when it was 2.4 hours run around this circuit. Now they've moved it out to a 6 hour event. Can, of course, participate in the iRacing special event variant of that real world race if you wish. It normally takes place in early September, prior to the Bathurst 1000 on iRacing as well. It is a wondrous course with multiple turns involved, 12 in fact, and it'll all start in Sector 1, where you're running down a very, very high speed, not only on lap 1, but for every single lap of this race. Hard braking zone at turn 1, switch it up into 2, 3, and then up towards 4. And the difficulty coming through the first sector, of course, is you can end up actually getting a bit loose, and the car can get light coming up through 3, which then, if you're not braking at the correct point for turn 4, you can end up running wide and into the sand trap on the left-hand side. Then you're running at round around turn 5, 6, the short chicane, where we'll often see drivers bouncing through. If they take too much curb, they'll often get loose and end up in the barriers if they're not careful. But down towards the end of the back straight to the braking zone of turn 7, great passing opportunity, but also one that you can really muck up easily as you're then heading up through the S's through turn 8, 9, and in through 10 as well. Then as you enter out towards the oval circuit here at Indianapolis, you come through the fast-paced turn 11 and into the braking zone at turn 12, into the newer section of the track and into the braking zone at turn 13, right where the pit entry is on the right-hand side, switches back to turn 14 as you're coming on then to the main straight. Pit entry is a very difficult one here tonight. Pit exit, well, it's piss easy, Jim. You come straight out onto the main straight and you're into turn 1 pretty much. It's just that simple. Ultimately, draft trains are going to be massive tonight. Breaking the toe is going to be very, very important as well, but we'll often see little battle packs start to form as drivers begin to battle away and the gaps start to raise and the pressure starts to raise as well. But for this place, it is written in infamy here in Indiana, and it is a track of which has got a lore about it, an aura, if you will, in terms of how special a race can be when you go to Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Tonight's going to be just as special. Every time we've been here, it's been an absolute barn burner, whether that's through chaos or through great battles. One thing we're going to be in for tonight, though, Jim, is interesting chances for a couple of spanners to be thrown in the works for the championship in terms of drivers, if they make it through tonight unscathed, if they don't get through unscathed, the difficulties that Indianapolis can throw at us, those are often the biggest challenges. And I think surviving those challenges is going to be the first key.
There was a fender there just laying in the middle of the track.
It's a good souvenir for a fan out there.
Let's take a look at the points real quick, but I do want to touch back on that. You're talking about that pit exit. I do want to come back to that, but let's take a look at these points before this warm-up session is over.
Yeah, well, of course, for the GT3 Pro portion of the series, it is Ricardo Delgado in dominant fashion, 570 points at this stage. Derek Fulker in P2, 513. And Daniel Schmall makes up the top 3 on 485. Justin Bock and Scott Petrona currently inside of the top 5. Great win last week for Nathan Biggett. It's gotten him a chunk of points. He's now up into P6 in the championship standings. And then Francis Crosby, Michael Anderson, Brett Thurman, and Guilherme Oliveira makes up the top 10 for the Pro class. For the Pro-Ams, Michael Caffrey leads the way by over 100 points over Harrison Holiday at this stage. Justin Welsh, Ty Baxter, and Jason Holland making up the top 5. Head to Zach Houston, David Steiner, Kurt Basler, Stephen Smith, and Philip Caffrey at the moment for the top 10 for our Pro-Ams. And over towards our amateur class now as well. Well, pretty much, Jim. Aside from last week at Road America, where it was a really horrid run for him, Jed Cotterman leads the way. Dominant fashion, 557 points at this stage. But that poor result last week where he didn't garner, I don't think he garnered any points because he didn't complete a lap. Jacob Cotterman has gained massively on him. He's now up to 540 points P2. James Leneve in P3 on 511. Both of them are within striking distance of the championship leader. Chet Miller, Greg Lawrence, top 5. Brennan Herzing, Jody Nelson, Jonathan Swan, David Vulpa, and Marc Augier makes up the top 10 for our GT3 AMs thus far in the series. And well, realistically, GT4s, it is the Cole Malley show. 600 points. He leads the championship by 119 points at this stage over Matt Last, Timothy Schaefer, Corey Patton, Brendan Bassina, the top 5. Cole's currently on a run of 4-0 this season. He has not taken a loss in the GT4 class. And, well, if there's some chaos tonight, that may be the only chance they have of beating him on circuit. Chris Grondin, John Voigt, Brian Lavrisa, Aidan Kiley, and Michael Smith makes up the top 10 for our GT4 category. We've got 2 new drivers on the road here tonight with Rodrigo Dacier out there from Brazil in the Pro-Am classification. And then we've also got the Canadian out there of Jamie MacArthur in the amateur class as well. So some debutantes, some returning drivers as well. Interested to see how some of them do. Not only in their first outing, but some drivers in their second and some in their double-digit race starts here this evening in the series. So it's going to be a fun one for us. Ricardo Delgado will start on pole position ahead of Nathan Biggett on the front row of the grid. And in behind them, well, we have got that Pro-Am of Michael Caffrey in P3 ahead of Lance Campbell in P4. It might only be a matter of time before Michael is a pro in the series. Derek Fulker, Kurt Basler, then the top 6. at this point of the night. And for both of them, they'll want to try and improve their positioning for sure. Zach Houston, James Leneven then on the 4th row of the grid and out towards the back end of the top 10. We find Rodrigo Dacier, the debutant from Brazil, starting ahead of Harrison Holiday for our top 10 positions on the road for GT3 here this evening. Justin Bock, Jed Cotterman, the top 12. Jed showed great pace in practice, hasn't managed to maximise in qualifying. He'll have some work to do if he wants to get it inside of the top 10 by the end of tonight's race. The 7th row of the grid, we find Michael Anderson, and Guilherme Oliveira now finds himself in the top 10 of the Pro-Am class, who want to try and continue that run of form and fight his way forward this season. Scott Petrone and David Steiner in the top 16 at this point in time. And to then the 9th row of the grid, we find ourselves with Chad Gross and Ty Baxter for our top 18. Then to the 10th row of the grid, marking the halfway point of the field, it is Jamie MacArthur and the Lorenzo Araujo, which Lorenzo was caught in the crossfire last week with a little bit of controversy by some of the incidents he was having. Hopefully it's been cleaned up a little bit here this evening for Indianapolis. Jack Anderson, John Swan there makes up the 11th row of the grid. A great performance from Jack last week in his debut. Got it inside the top 10, which was a phenomenal performance for the Australian out there. For the 12th row of the grid, we move on and find ourselves with Jordan Butler and Greg Lawrence alongside each other for the top 24. There aren't many Ferraris out there, but Jordan is out there at the moment, just like the Marines. It's the proud and the few for Ferrari drivers out there, Jim. So hopefully for Jordan, he gets a good result here tonight. Jacob Cotterman, Jason Holland then for our 13th row of the grid. And we're not getting too far away from the end of the GT3 grid, by the way. Justin Welsh, Chet Miller then for the 14th row as well. And to the end of the GT3s, find ourselves with Weston Adams and Mark Ogier as well. So both of those guys will be hoping for a quality finish here tonight. Eric Cruz ends out our GT3 run. To the pole sitter GT4s, the ever so dominant 4-0 Cole Malley sits P1 for the GT4s ahead of John Voigt, Matt Lass on the 17th row of the grid here this evening. And out towards our 18th row, we will find Timothy Schaefer and Corey Patton for the top 36. To P37 and P38, it's Chris Grondin and Cameron Oldfield out there for the 20th row. Aidan Kiley and Michael Smith makes up the 40th position. And in behind them, Herschel Lawrence, DJ Patterson, and then to the final row, it is Eric Fernandez and Brandon Bassina out there. Weston Adams, by the way, starting from pit lane, it seems, this evening once again. That's 2 weeks in a row, Jim. He hasn't qualified all that well, and tonight he'll start from pit road.
Well, I think there's a place for that if you're in a learning phase and you feel like that's the safest spot for you to get out there and make a bunch of laps for the night is to start in pit row. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I
don't think so either.
But speaking of pit row, when we were talking about, I do want to touch on it. Well, we'll talk about it later. We're about to get started here.
Yeah, we'll do it as the race gets to its own.
Yeah, it'll be plenty of time for that.
We're going to see drivers coming in and out of pit lane, I'm sure, tonight.
A couple times, yes.
A couple of times at least. But as we are led around the final corner by Ricardo Delgado and Nathan Biggett, front row for the GT3s will line up. They'll stack up and they'll get to green flag running at the Brickyard. 60 minutes on the clock to get yourself a race win here at Indianapolis Motor Speedway. And as the GT4s about to get underway as well, they're almost staggered 3 wide amongst the GT3s. Down towards the braking zone of turn 1. They get through nice and cleanly at the top end. Do the rest of the field make it through as well? Somehow they've kept themselves sorted through turn 1 and 2. Can they survive the run up through to the chicane at 5 and 6 as well? Delgado with a great start. Biggett has gone with him, but there's a little bit of gap as everyone scrambles through in the hopes that they can hold on to position and not end up losing that rear end and ending up in the barriers at this stage. There's already been an incident in the GT4 class. Matt Lass has gone off, and as well Jordan Butler in the Ferrari down at the chicane as well. So 2 incidents already early on in this race, Jim. Both of those drivers will be licking their wounds at this point.
Yeah, it didn't look to be too serious. It looked like a couple of maybe single car spin type incidents. We got a Porsche there off into the grass, pretty heavy, but yeah, not horrible. Certainly could have been a worse start than this. Jamming all those cars down into turn 1. I have to say the drivers did a pretty damn good job, really, of getting through there.
They did indeed.
This is a turn 1 where you can sure stack them up in a big time hurry.
Well, that was Chad Gross, who's also been off the road now as well. Jack Anderson was a victim of the start. He's dropped some spots as Cameron Oldfield off the road as well. Is that Matt Lass again off the road down there? So more issues for these backmarkers in the GT4 class as Chris Grondon now's end up off the road as well. So real difficulties for these drivers tonight, Jim. Just keeping the cars under them on these cold tires.
Cold tires on this track. This track does not have any camber built into most of these turns. And so they're very flat, and it's easy to spin these cars out without any little slight camber in these turns to press the car into.
Oh, we're right on board with Michael Caffrey on the small screen. Ricardo Delgado is still in the race leading position at this point. Jed Cotterman, home circuit for him tonight out at Indianapolis. Again, showed great pace in practice. Did not make it stick in qualifying, though. He currently sits P13. A difficult race last time, and he was out before the race was really even started, Jim. So bad, in fact, that it was tough for him, not only, in terms of just the season, but mentally as well. It really played a game with him in just, having to build some resiliency and keep on fighting forward. He is remaining in the series. He's continued to race here tonight as well. And I think off the back of a result on Friday night as well in the Bite Point series, that's got to help the confidence a lot.
Yeah, and I have to say, speaking to him, it wasn't his own issues that he was just frustrating with the driving standards and he let it get to him a little bit, and I can understand that as he was frustrated because of his incident that occurred. I think he got taken out there. I'm not 100% sure, but and then just the numerous incidents that we've had on some of these opening early series this year. I think he's just a little frustrated with that. He was hoping for a little better driving standards, but we've jammed these drivers into some really tough tracks. We really have. The start of this season has been brutal with tough tracks. It really has.
I mean, it's only going to get tougher as it goes on. I mean, obviously next week marks the halfway point of the season. 90-minute race at Interlagos for Autodromo Jose Carlos Pache. That is going to be an all-timer. It'll be a earlier broadcast start as well.
MacArthur's around.
Oh, he is. He is around. Jamie MacArthur on debut here tonight has been spun around in that Porsche, the Canadian, off the road down there. Earlier broadcast start next time out, around about 45 minutes earlier next week because of the fact it is a 90-minute race, so it's not going to run later.
That we're going to be able to start. We'll see. Because I come in hot from another broadcast, and I'm barely going to make that. So we'll see.
We'll see how that all pans out.
It could be fun, yeah.
Well, then, looking at the second half of the season as well, Jim. I mean, it is going to be it's a bit tasty, Jim. It's just a little bit tasty in the second half of the season. Obviously, Circuit Gilles Villeneuve for round 7. That is going to be absolute chaos.
Yes.
Watkins Glen for round 8. Virginia International Raceway, which both of us are very vocal about. We are not fans of, but ironically, it often always leads. I'm not a fan. I don't know why. I find the setting of it boring, but somehow, some way, it always produces great racing. I don't know what it is about VIR
I do like VIR. I do, and the reason why is kind of weird, because back in the day, as we see Jack Anderson try to pull an outside move here, he kind of got boxed out by that Mercedes there. That is Jack. Never mind. My bad. NASCAR used to do all their testing for road courses there back in the day, because it's so close to NASCAR country. It's like 2 hours from Charlotte.
Hang on, Jim. Sorry, I've just seen that Steiner is off the road. So is Fernandez.
Oh, Steiner?
Steiner's been off down there at I think that's turn 10. He's been off. Oh my God! This is not ending well.
Holy
this
cow.
Is really, really getting messy now.
What in the world? Can you show that again?
Happening? I'm attempting to right now. So, Eric Fernandez in the GT4 class was on the inside. The BMW's tried to go around the out. Well, ultimately, Jim, that has to come down to some absolutely horrid traffic management from that BMW, it must be said, because the GT4 is doing exactly what he needs to do, which is hold his line. GT3 should be able to go around the outside very easily. very easily.
That's
should be
not
able
the
to go around
same
the
incident,
outside.
though, is it?
No, but
No.
this is the one that got
Steiner?
Steiner off the road. I've got to find where he is. Here he is here. So he's rejoined, and as he's rejoined, he's on the inside.
Yeah, this
And
is
as they
one
come
I
down
don't.
towards turn 10, the Lamborghini has just absolutely doored
Show that from
the other
the
McLaren.
chopper. Show that from the chopper. That is, I don't even know what just happened there. I feel like Jed right now. Are you kidding?
Steiner's all on his own. Minding his own business, as is the other McLaren there, Marc Ogier.
So
and then watch what the Lamborghini just absolutely punts him. That's Eric Cruz.
Eric Cruz.
Watch this back again.
So Cruz is the car in
Cruz
the middle.
Is in the Lambo. He's in the Lamborghini.
Okay, yeah.
So they come up.
In the
So
middle.
they come up.
And he just wiggles right into the.
He just drives into him.
Yeah.
Into Ogier.
Like he completely unaware, and he was trying to swing out wide for turn 1. I'm guessing, or what is that?
Well, down at that's turn 12.
12. Yeah, 12.
Yeah. So let's go on board with him for this, because ultimately he knows he's there. He can see him. He just drives into him.
Yeah, I have nothing.
I'm sorry, and I'll be honest with you, Scott Patron. Seriously, you're a pro driver. You should know better than to turn down on a GT4 car. He's holding his line. He's doing everything he needs to. He's doing everything he's supposed to do, and you just.
I mean, I'd have to see that part of the accident again.
Well, we'll watch it again. Don't worry, we will watch it again, Jim.
Yeah, that's why we got 2 screens.
That's right. So let's see a chopper again on this one as well.
Does Cole Malley really have a 12-second lead already?
No, he's 12 seconds behind the next car ahead.
Oh, no, okay.
So
3 seconds.
Okay.
Yep.
So now that we've seen this from another angle, so the other angle looked like Patron was turning in on the GT4.
Right.
So we'll correct ourselves right now. So we'll watch this through as we continue on. And this will give us...
And Patron is where here in this image, just to clarify for me, because
Patron is the BMW who is coming into the corner with the GT4. So the GT4 is running his line, that's fine.
Yeah, the
So
GT4 bounced off the curbing and went a little wide there, though.
He did. So I think ultimately that's probably on both of them.
Yes.
More so than just the GT. Even though the onus on parking cleans on the GT3 car, I think there is some onus on both of them in this scenario.
In my opinion, I put a little less on the GT3 car. He did give him enough room. Not a ton of room, but he did give him room, and he kind of bounced off the curbing.
How could the GT4 have avoided this? Okay, well, let's speak about this. How could he have avoided this? Right. He knows he's alongside. He could have just braked a little bit earlier and just let him go.
Yes.
He didn't need to try and run side by side with him into the corner. He could have just let him go ultimately.
No, that's an unfortunate
onus for both of them.
And that's basically a racing incident.
This
with
is not.
No, that's what happened after that.
This is just some absolutely. This is just some very, very poor racecraft and spatial awareness on board that Lamborghini. I'm sorry, Eric Cruz. You need to try and do better, please, because That's not
that's pretty egregious. I have to say,
So to confirm, Cole Malley has a
3.8
gap over John Voigt. Patron is trying to fight his way back to the field. So I apologise, Scott Patron. I'd said it was your fault before. We've seen it at another angle. It would be more or less a racing incident.
I think that's more like it. I mean, Patron could have gave him a little more room. He had room to go out a little wider there. So I could see a little bit being on him as well. But basically, it was the GT4 that lost control of his car there, bounced over the curb, and kind of bounced wide there a little bit. Is what happened.
Yeah.
This is pretty much like a gaggle of cars here. I've got in front of me here.
It is a real gaggle of cars. It's Rodrigo Dacier, the debutant from Brazil, has gone off the road just before turn 10. And I have to wonder if he may have made contact with somebody, i.e. Weston Adams, who's had a massive incident somewhere out there on board his Mustang.
Let's see what happened to Weston then.
Okay, so Weston's gone round on his own. This is actually after the corner. So he spun on his own. So then how has Rodrigo ended up off the road, off at turn 10? So he's waiting to rejoin. He's doing the right thing.
But Justin Buck almost stuck his nose in there.
Still waiting. Oh, okay, no, all right. So Weston Adams did not have a putt play, but that's fine.
He's all right.
That's fine. So how's Rodrigo ended up off the road then? Because he was in that battle with Justin Bock, and they had some GT4 traffic they were trying to contest with. So what's...
Justin?
Okay. So Justin's gone up inside and he spun him round.
Yeah. I'd like to see that from Justin Bock's nose, to be honest with you.
Well, let's try and get it for you as best we can. Here is Justin.
Oh, speaking of spinning somebody, getting them with the nose.
Let's watch this.
Well, looks like Holland.
Come on.
Looks like his nose is gone now.
So I think, unfortunately for Justin, he's trying to take a little bit. Yeah, he's taken a little bit too many liberties there, in terms of trying to go up the inside of Rodrigo, and unfortunately Rodrigo is now in pit lane. So that's a shame for him ultimately. So yeah, that's a very rare mistake from Justin Bock, and I think he'll be kicking himself over that one for sure. He will. I think knowing Justin, and we've spoken to him many times, Jimmy, followed his career in this series for quite a while. Yes. He is someone that if he makes a mistake like that, he's very apologetic. He's very understanding if he knows it's his fault. And I think he'll.
He doesn't typically send it on people. You know, that's not his style. If anything, if anything, he's kind of known to maybe give a little too much space and kind of be a little open about, letting people buy him sometimes. Like I know in the Friday Night Bite Point series, I've called him out. We've called him out a couple times for, just leaving a little too much room and not putting up quite enough fight. So if anything, he's kind of the opposite of that, I would say.
Or maybe he's heeding your words, Jim, and he's now trying to be a little bit more aggressive. And it's a fine line between overly aggressive and being aggressive.
Yes. Yeah.
You're finding that balance point of confident aggression and pushing too hard. It's very, very, very fine line, Jim. Very, very fine line. Very tough.
What is not a fine line is
balance.
Is the gap to Nathan from Nathan Pickett to Delgado and all Fulker and Biggett up to Delgado.
Ultimately, this is the struggle with Indianapolis, right? And this can also happen at Daytona as well. So because it is such a there's two high-speed sections in terms of the long straights that are at this place. As soon as you lose the draft, it's over. You all of a sudden have to try and outlap the car that's ahead of you. And if it's a driver that is faster than you, it becomes incredibly difficult to chase them down. So without a safety car who kind of compress the field back together again, it means ultimately that we're going to get large gaps at some point tonight. They may come back together again in the pit lane if there's some fuel saving involved and stuff like that. Ultimately, though, because of the case of Indianapolis and Daytona, everyone eventually will begin to spread out. The difficulty of Indianapolis is, though, it is a much more difficult track to filter traffic compared to Daytona. Daytona is very, very easy for traffic management.
Yes.
If there's a scale of, let's say 1 to 5 on a difficulty scale, Daytona's probably a 1.
This is coming from a man who won the Roar before the 24. Somebody that knows Daytona. Oh, sorry.
Yes, I've done many, many laps at Daytona. It is probably on... that's fine. on the scale of difficulty of a 1 to 5, Daytona is for traffic management in terms of dealing with the traffic. Is probably a 1.
Or maybe a 2 at the most.
No, I would argue it is the easiest track to deal with traffic, Jim. It is so
It is pretty easy. Yeah, I have to say it is pretty easy.
I would say Indianapolis, because of the straights, but the tight sections drop a bit. I would argue that it is a 3.
Yeah, 3.
A 3 out of 5. I think this is the most middle ground, but still difficult
now,
place.
Are we talking about just tracks in general, or are we talking about Roval specifically?
tracks in general.
Okay.
Right. So I would
Yeah,
argue that
I'd say a
this
3.
place is probably as easy to deal with traffic as Autodromo Hermanos Rodriguez, which you've already seen this season. We already saw how difficult some drivers
Oh,
found it to deal
somebody
with
went
traffic.
around
As
there.
Jack Anderson has gone round down at turn 4. He's been off the road. He's rejoined now and is back on the track as he continues on in his second outing in the series. So yeah, I would argue that this place is on the level with the likes of Mexico City. If I think about other tracks that are on the calendar, maybe Road America as well. I'd argue Road America is probably as difficult as this place to deal with traffic. So yeah, the last 3 rounds
I
have
argue
probably been
with
about
that.
a 3 out of 5. The next week in Interlagos, it's going to be a similar scenario, about 3 out of 5.
Interlagos, though, man, the racing there is just
the racing is
good.
epic, absolutely epic.
You know, we went. We went there last year. Jacob
yes,
Cotterman had an incident. Let's see what happened to Jacob.
Oh, he does. He does. He's trying to get it spun back around. He's had a self-made incident down at turn.
No, it
turn
wasn't self-made.
Oh, wasn't it? Oh,
no,
it wasn't either. Oh no,
that was definitely not self-made. Oh, you can tell he's pissed too.
Of course he is.
Yeah, I mean he is like 15, but 16, whatever he is. But no, he was spun there big time. I don't know who that was.
See, I think the problem is, so he didn't know that car was on his inside, and it's 3 wide. He can't see them to his inside as he turns into the corner. The question is, is he alongside
happened?
before he's turning? Yeah, I think so. Yeah, because he doesn't know that he's there. So you think about it, right? He doesn't know that Mustang's all of a sudden there as he begins to turn in. So he aims for apex, not expecting there to be a Mustang on his inside. All of a sudden, there's a Mustang on his inside.
Yeah. I mean, okay. I'll give you the fact that, I would say that is 3 out of 10 on Jacob, probably. And
yeah, because I think they're what? They're 4 cars wide, like in terms of the gap. But there's probably 2 car widths between them.
Yeah.
You can't necessarily see.
No,
the other car there.
I mean, I think when he looks back at that, he'll see that, I mean, that's one of those situations. If you're not racing in triples or VR, that's hard to see, man.
Oh, it is. Aiden Kiley has been off the road further back. Sorry, Jim. In the GT4 class, he has just ended up towing back to pit lane off a moment at the chicane down at turn 5 and 6. Oh, no. Has this frozen your iRacing again, Jim? I think it has.
Well, we'll sort it here in a second.
Yep. That's fine. We'll get that fixed up and ready for everyone out there.
Yeah, we're just it's just lagging a little bit behind. We're okay though.
We've still got a live picture at this point. It's just it's still because we're stuck on replay. We've had this issue before where it gets stuck and then
I mean it's still just but we'll get it sorted here.
Yeah, we'll get it fixed up.
I'll do it. I guess I'll do it the other way.
To finish our difficulty factor on tracks to deal with traffic, because traffic management ultimately is one of the more difficult factors of the series.
Oh, that's what these kind of series are all about, really. It's it's the next step.
Dealing with GT4 cars as a GT3 driver is very difficult. It's like GTP is trying to deal with LMP2s. It's one of the more difficult crossovers in terms of traffic management for some drivers out there, as Justin Bock is coming into pit lane now. The 2 hardest circuits on the whole calendar, ultimately, for traffic management, is definitely Long Beach and Circuit Gilles Villeneuve.
Oh, sure.
Most street circuits, tight circuits, concrete barriers surround them.
Laguna Seca, too, though.
Yeah,
place,
I would put Laguna Seca.
Tough.
I would make the argument that Long Beach and Montreal are at a 5. Laguna Seca is probably at a 4. And I'd argue that alongside that Laguna Seca is VIR and Road Atlanta. For these 2 specific car types, those 3 are at the 4. They're at 4 out of 5 difficulty. And I'd argue that Watkins, Glen, and Sebring.
I'd probably, if it were me making, I'd probably put Road Atlanta at a 3 myself, but definitely a 4 for
these 2 cars specifically. That's for this version of multi-class, for this combination, because of the difficulty of passing for GT3s over GT4s. I think it raises it 1 scale. For regular multi-class of GTP, LMP2, GT3, I think it is at a 3. But because it's so tight and it's such a short track, it's very easy for drivers to get crossed up with each other as Chad Gross has been off the road down at turn 9 once again, or turn 10 once again. So he'll continue on forward now, keep pushing on as we've got our timing back, which is absolutely fantastic. Aiden in the chat saying he died, and yes, we had that before, Aiden. I'll get the moment for you. Weston Adams as well has had another incident in the GT3 amateur class here tonight, Jim, and it is turning into a night to forget for the Mustang driver. Pushed it a little bit too hard into turn 13. Fair play to him, though. Hold his brakes. Fair play to Weston Adams. The amount of self-spins he's had tonight, he holds his brakes still. Shout out Weston Adams. This guy, he might be struggling out there to get used to the car and struggling with this car. Fair play to him, though. Does the right thing when he has a crash. Holds his brakes, tries to get the car off the track, and waits for his opportunity to rejoin.
We've got a first place battle here going on for in the Pro-Am class, and they're back and forth right here. This is getting hot and heavy.
Oh, Campbell battling away here with Zach Houston for the Pro-Am classification.
This is good stuff right here. Oh, managing a little traffic there. Yeah, these two guys are putting on a show right here.
Oh, they are. Battling away hard
and Caffrey's, not to be, he's right there as well, you know. This is, you know, you could easily argue that all three of those guys should be in the pros, though. I mean, they really could be.
Definitely make the argument.
They're all pro caliber drivers, I think.
Oh, I would be interested, Jim, if the series went to a classification process of pre-qualifying for next season. That would really make it interesting. Because it would mean that drivers are classified on their pure pace more so than their I rating. Because some people, they get their Class A license and they never do officials again. They just go on and do leagues.
Yeah, well, that's kind of like me. If I'm being honest, I never do much on the officials for these. The only thing I do officials is like, you know, the ringmeister, you know, stuff like that.
I really only do special events. That's about it. You know, ultimately for me, so. It makes it difficult sometimes.
Well, it makes it hard to pick up I rating when you're doing these really tough events, you know.
Yeah, unless you've surrounded yourself with drivers who you know are going to keep it clean, and you're able to keep it clean as well. As Houston goes into pit lane, so he's sick of sitting behind Lance Campbell, could be trying to undercut him here.
Well, I thought he was going to get an unsafe pit entry there, though, but he pulled it off. Holy cow, though. So I'm assuming he thinks he can make it from here?
No, because we've seen the last few weeks we've had
two pit stop race, though.
Yeah, but last week it was, for some drivers, it was a two-stopper. It was relying on a fuel save. As Holiday's in the lane now as well. The other point to remember too is, Jim, so tank capacity is actually different for each car. So at 100% fuel, some cars have got, you know, better capacity than others. So unless you're BOPing the entire field,
I thought the tank capacities were all identical.
No, some cars can run less fuel, or the capacity is the same, but some cars use less fuel than others. So the Porsche, for example, can fuel save a lot better than other cars out there. So when you set them to a percentage, it can still be slightly different for each car in terms of their fuel usage. So the balancing act of a set fuel amount that you can have in the car can then often offset actually what the strategies are and where you can find yourself in and out of pit lane. So there may be some drivers tonight, if they don't have the fuel save capability, they may need to do two stops because of the high speed nature of the track.
What does that say?
Well, he did. He's trying to undercut him. That's what he's trying to do.
Right, but does that mean he can make it on the one stop?
Maybe. He might be able to save 5 minutes extra.
Yeah, I don't know. I would love to. Have that information, a little more detailed version of that information. We'll put that out there. See if certainly make it a lot easier
for us to figure out. Justin Bock is down the order as well at this point, Jim. After he's already been through pit lane, he's got about a half a second gap. Back to the freshly pitted Harrison Holiday.
We know that Nathan is capable of saving fuel in arguably one of the most fuel-burning cars out there. We know
Yeah, it's
the
probably
Mustang,
one of the biggest gas
Mustang and the
guzzlers in the
Corvettes
field.
probably burn some of the most fuel. The BMW probably, well, maybe not the BMW as much, but these big gas guzzling V8s certainly do.
Well, they do indeed. Jason Holland is now into pit lane as well, so he brings it in to pit road. As Aiden Cully, I believe, is out of the race now, by the way, with a meatball flag. So his race has now ended after that earlier incident down at turn 5-6 in the GT4 class at this point. Cole Malley sits in a 13.5-second lead over P2.
I called it. I just called it about 10 laps too earlier.
Justin Welsh has been off the road down at turn 1-2 in what looks to be maybe with a bit of help possibly, but I think it might be on his lonesome. This was the car we saw earlier on dive up the inside of Jacob Cotterman. Cotterman did not know he was there. He's caught some grass through turn 2, and around she goes for the Mustang of Justin Welsh as Kurt Basler's now in pit lane. So perhaps the Porsches need to pit slightly earlier, or perhaps they know they can make 35 minutes and they're going to save the fuel to the end. Ty Baxter's in as well. So
it seems like the Porsches are pitting early. A lot of them. Is that?
Yeah.
I think that'd be a hell of a coincidence that they're all running the undercut strategy because they're in Porsches. So I'm beginning to wonder if they are really the fuel saving, if they are the best at fuel saving here. You know. I wanted to come down here and hit on Timothy Schaefer real quick. He is, well, I don't know why it's not showing up. He's running a, oh, I know why it's not showing up. So, Tim, if you're listening to this back at the end, you have to put in your name exactly as it appears in iRacing. You entered it as Tim Schaefer in the camera room, and you are listed as Timothy Schaefer in iRacing. It will not pick up your camera and broadcast it. So for any drivers out there, if you wonder why your camera doesn't show up, there's probably a good chance that that is the reason why. I was going to give him a little camera time since it was his first time on cam, but I can't do that. What in the world has happened to Michael Anderson? Oh, my God.
Oh, my God.
What happened?
He has just caught the grass and had a massive tank slapper. Race leader is in pit lane, by the way. Lance Campbell, Jed Cotterman, Guilherme Oliveira. James Leneven's also in with Ricardo Delgado at this point. Biggett, Fulker, Caffrey, Anderson have all gone for an extra lap at this stage.
Surprising.
But Michael, after that spin on the grass,
I got to see that
has
again.
found himself in a war at this point. That man is, that's certainly a facial hair choice for Michael Anderson. Having the old handlebar. Looks like he loves a Jack Daniels, I would say.
He doesn't have a handlebar, does he?
From my point of view, it looks like a handlebar.
I think it's his goatee is white.
And
his mustache is not. Yeah,
he's pulling the whole
mine is kind of like that as well. My goatee is whiter than my mustache. So, everybody's pitting now. Yeah, everybody's in except for Caffrey. Interestingly enough, he's
coming in now.
Oh, he's
missing a front end on that Merc. So there has been some contact for Michael Caffrey at some point. He's missing the front end of his car, so he comes into pit road. I'm not sure. I suppose he's giving someone a little kiss, possibly.
Yeah. See if you can.
Zach Houston, sorry, Jim. Zach Houston is off the road down at turn 4.
That's bad.
He has tried to pit earlier. Well, he's already been through pit lane.
Yep.
I think this might be a self-made moment for him, possibly. Although, mayhaps not. There are some GT4s with him. The GT3 Mustang as well. Oh, I believe that might be Leneven. Oh, he's trying to go around the outside of the other Porsche, and he's made contact, and round he goes. He just misjudged the run on the outside of the GT4 car, and all of a sudden, Zach Houston is now well down the order.
Man, I was so looking forward to that battle, too.
Anderson, by the way, has gone another lap at this point in time.
Well, yeah. I got the camera on him right now, but, yeah, of course he had that. That was a wicked spin, man. Leneven has got a black flag. I'm assuming that has to be a pit road violation, probably a speeding incident.
Where is James Leneven? Yes, I would argue so.
Yeah, well, he's back
in. He's back in now, so he comes in for a drive-through. That'll drop him some positions at this point in time. David Steiner's got to slow down as well, so he's going to have to try and deal with that as quickly as possible.
So once Anderson pits, of course, that's going to default the lead back to Delgado, who looks like Biggett closed that gap up during the pit road sequences. Biggett is now only about a second and a half behind him.
Yeah,
and Folker is a little far back, a little further back than he was off Nathan before the pit stop cycle.
I wonder if that was because of the traffic that Delgado had, getting very tight with the GT4 car to his inside around the final corner. That nearly could have thrown the race away for Delgado if he wasn't careful at that point. Anderson's exiting. He's just coming in now, so he's about to stop. He's run out of fuel. He's gone one lap too long, Jim. He's run out of fuel.
Not there. Oh, my God. Is he not going to make it?
Proves the point that going that extra lap is not always worth it.
Oh, man. You're talking about going bad to worse, huh?
He has given up. This is going to put him to the back of the field now.
Oh, yeah. Had that wicked-ass spin. Biggett is all over Delgado, dude.
He wants those slow cars out of his way. He wants clean air ahead of him. Gets past Chet Miller on board the other
both of them.
Corvette down there through the GT4 traffic as well. And for Biggett, it's maximum pressure in the battle of the freedom-powered machines. The Mustang and the Corvette, the classic battle of the blue oval versus the bow tie.
They've been battling
and we are
for
only
a
at the
long
halfway
time.
point. Well, they have.
Yeah, we're past
all the way
halfway
back
point
to the old NASCAR days, even across the world. Through their subsidiary companies as well, obviously in Australia, Holden and Ford, big battle.
Fixing to be this year again in Formula One.
Exactly.
Cadillac and Red Bull.
Europe, well, that's right. In the UK and Europe, obviously Vauxhall and Ford in the old BTCC days, as well Opel and Ford as well, and the likes of DTM and other local European series in the mid 90s into the early 2000s as well. Both companies with rich histories around the world. Both companies with a lot of onus on beating the other. How will this, it's a battle that's happening now across the world, Jim, in modern era as well, obviously.
Sure.
Not only through IMSA and WEC, supercars as well with...
somebody is off hard in the back.
Chevrolet and Ford as well, as Jacob Cotterman has been into the wall down at turn 5-6 as he gets himself running once again. In a big moment, but you mentioned it, Jim. Formula One now as well.
Formula One. You got General Motors and Ford now both coming into Formula One this year. Although General Motors won't be running their own engines for another 2 seasons, I believe. Although I did hear today, by the way, Formula One started testing today at Bahrain, so and I'm consumed with all things testing, so I've been watching it. They said that Chevrolet or General Motors is ahead of schedule on developing their engine and potentially could bring it in a year early even.
Well, we'll see if they can maybe learn the tricks of the trade that the likes of Red Bull and Mercedes have put in place in terms of their pressure within the Pistons. They'll probably make a rule for next year. That's
I'm not so sure. I'm not so sure that they're not going to make a rule this year if it turns out to be.
I don't think they can because of the development of the engines. They would ultimately have to. They would have to change how they're tested.
Yes,
and it's not against.
They have to just be tested at temperature.
At peak temperature. So. I think what they're going to do is for 2027 and onwards, they're going to test the compression at temperature, not at cold. So that means that they have to have it at
you have to give Mercedes credit. That was freaking brilliant.
Red Bull and Mercedes.
The thing is, apparently Red Bull, it's not as the Red Bull Ford engine is not as prolific as the Mercedes is, and now Red Bull is even jumping on the bandwagon about trying to get Mercedes. They're kind of on the other bandwagon now. Because they think Mercedes is going to be that much more dominant, but we'll see. The thing about Formula One is, it all runs in cycles. where they're, you know, and believe me,
watch for a lot of people, Jim, have claimed that Alpine are going to be at the back of the field again this year.
Well, they won't if they're running it with that Mercedes power.
Watch for Alpine. Watch for Williams. Obviously, McLaren and Mercedes, of course. Watch for them.
Well, I'll tell you what. Watch for Williams anyway. You know, I didn't realize this. I knew that Williams didn't put a lot into last year's car, and they had significant gains. You know, they became a quality mid-pack car, and they had a couple of podium finishes with Carlos Sainz through strategy and everything. I didn't realize they did not do anything to develop a 2025 car. They literally brought the 2024 car and only made changes that were required by minor rule changes. That was literally their 2024 car. They spent their entire developmental budget of 2025 towards getting their stuff up to snuff for 2026.
It's a bold strategy.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, that's when people feel safe in their jobs. That's when they know that they're not going to lose their job if they don't perform, and they've got a long-term plan in place.
One thing that I'm hopeful for, and I'm looking forward to this happening as well, obviously. So I'm happy by the fact that Audi are running an Audi engine, right? They're not running another manufacturer's engine. They've built their own engine, and they're coming into Formula One with their own engine, right?
Yes.
The fact that that Cadillac are going to be running their own engine as well, inevitably either next year or the year after.
Yes.
I hope that we get a Renault engine back again for Alpine. I hope we do. I'm happy with teams having 2 or 3, or more power unit manufacturers having 2 or 3 teams with their power output. So, you know, Williams, they're not an engine manufacturer. They're not going to make their own engines. McLaren, they could make their own engines, but they're not going to. They're always going to be a customer team in terms of engine management. And then obviously both Red Bulls are always going to run Red Bull engines. I'm fine with Haas running Ferrari engines. That is okay. Would I prefer if Haas ran Cadillac engines? Yes, because they're the other American team. Yes. You might as well have the American teams on the American power units. But I look forward to the day, Jim, where we have got, let's say 12 Formula One teams, because now we're up to 11. So let's get back to 12. Get us 24 cars on the grid. Get us another power unit manufacturer. Get Renault back in there. Get Alpine running Renault engines again, and all will be right with the world, I feel.
Yeah, I don't know that Renault's coming back. They
won't.
They were there a long time. That was no easy decision.
Actually, what I hope for is Haas run a Toyota engine.
Well, that's probably coming. You know,
I hope so.
That is probably coming. So. Toyota. And, you know, there's also a lot of word out there about Porsche bringing an engine to Formula One as well.
It would be nice.
Because, you know, Porsche and Audi are owned by the same company. So Porsche is already a part of that technology in developing that Audi motor. So it would be pretty easy for them to bring the Porsche brand back to Formula One with an engine. Corey Patton looks like he's had a little trouble there.
They could also bring in Volkswagen as well.
Yeah, that's not part of Volkswagen's marketing. You know,
no,
that's not who they want to target. I think you know, Porsche certainly, but VW they would spend their money. Well,
we could get Lamborghini, but I ultimately, Jim,
I would rather see Lamborghini back in sports car racing heavier.
The two brands that I want in Formula One, Jim, is BMW and Porsche, as you said. I want BMW back.
I wouldn't mind seeing Lotus back in Formula One.
Yeah, ultimately, I don't think Lotus really care anymore. I think Lotus as a brand is really just on. Like, I would not be surprised, Jim, if Lotus went out of business in the next 20 years, to be honest with you.
Oh, it's entirely possible. You know,
I don't even know of what. I don't even know what a modern Lotus car would be.
I know, right? This is Michael Anderson again. Oh, what? Did he just?
I think he's just called it. Jacob Cotterman has called it tonight as well. At this point.
Wow, that's unfortunate.
Yeah, so a couple of drivers have backed out of tonight's proceedings.
Man, this battle up here at the front of Pro-Am is just phenomenal.
Seriously heated up.
I wish that Zach Houston would not have had that incident and was still back up in here with these two. I don't see him getting there again. He's pretty far back. But man, that was a great three-way battle we were having up front here. Still a great two-way battle, but Houston up there with the 3 different cars, 3 different manufacturers, you know. Looks like Steiner and Anderson, a couple of Australians there, racing each other pretty hard here. Has Jack started hanging out with the Australians?
I have no idea, to be honest with you, Jim. I don't know if he is or not at this point. I don't believe he is, because I believe he is streaming tonight's race.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
he probably is streaming, actually.
I know he is. I got the notification on my phone that he went live.
Right, there you go.
So I know he is, for sure. But, I mean, what we've seen tonight is obviously it's been a twilight affair here at Indianapolis. It's the race has gone about how I imagined it would go to this point, Jim, as... well, we're still on the replay at this point. Are we on the replay? No, we're not. No. We're on live. We just haven't got the tower up.
Oh. Yeah, don't mind me. No, we're not. It's stuck again. But they see this accident here with Ty Baxter and Eric Fernandez. We'll get a look at this real quick, and then I'll sort that other issue. Oh, just kind of, okay. No. All right. Ty Baxter just... probably need to use that pedal on the left-hand side a little more.
Jack Anderson's back in pit lane, by the way. So we saw last week, obviously, he didn't fuel save his way to the end. He ultimately had to take a second pit stop.
He did not.
And I will correct myself. He did not get a top 10 finish last week, but he was very close to it.
Yes. No, he was having a great run.
If he didn't need to pit last week, he would have gotten a top 10.
Yes. He was having a fantastic run, actually.
Yeah.
And
he is on the same boat as me, Jim. Is that
heavy
this
foot?
Is the no, not heavy foot. Same feet as me, as the other variant of the road course is the better variant of the road course here at Indianapolis.
Oh, did he say that?
We both love the old variant.
Somebody asked how many racers that we had.
We've had 44.
44 tonight.
We've had 44 on the road tonight.
We're ignoring you guys in chat. We're busy talking about the first weekend of Formula One stuff. We got all excited by Formula One. I just love racing in general. I just love the fact that we're getting back into racing season right now. We've, just had the 24-hour Daytona. Everybody's getting ready for Sebring. Sports cars are heating up. Formula One's starting to kick off. IndyCar racing is about ready to launch as well. It's going to be... I'm kind of excited for IndyCar and Indy Next this year too. I'm going to pay a little more attention, and I'm curious. I'm kind of excited for it. I want to really try to follow it. And
I want to get into watching IndyCar this year, Jim. If I can get the time, I really do. It's a very exciting Formula race. I hope, Jim, if you can find me anything to call over the weekend.
Oh.
That IndyCar, I'm there. I am there.
Yeah, I want an IndyCar series bad.
Yeah. Get us a Sunday for me or a Saturday for me IndyCar gig. I am there, 100%.
So we're doing this on
Friday night.
Well,
Friday night.
Friday night. Yeah, Friday night's gonna be tough for me for a while, but yeah. If there's anybody out there that's got an IndyCar league and they are looking to broadcast it, we would love to participate in that. I've got some phenomenal software now that shows the actual real push to pass, and it's accurate, which there's really no software out there right now other than...
I'm sorry, Jim, I've just seen as well, Jack Anderson actually got a black flag when he last came through pit road, and I believe that's him calling his night.
Come on, Jack.
Unfortunately, it's so late in the race, so that's unfortunate for Anderson. He's parked it up for the evening. Confirming, though, that some other cars definitely needed 2 stoppers here tonight.
Yeah.
Fuel save game is well underway, though. With 15 minutes to go in this race, as everyone prepares themselves.
I got multiple. My questions are, what's going on with 1 and 2 in Pro-Am? As far as fuel goes, they are now a couple seconds apart, but they're still navigating traffic and stuff. Still pretty close. And then the same thing with Delgado and Biggett. Biggett has dropped off a little bit. He's 2.5 seconds behind. Fulker is also 5 seconds behind Nathan. I'm wondering what's the fuel situation with those guys? You know, are they? Is one of them, or any of them, or all of them fuel saving? What's the status on that?
Oh, I would assume they are
Don't
fuel
we
saving
have?
at this point. We're lap 33. We've got 15 minutes to go. We're averaging 1 minute 23. So if they're going to make 40 laps, that's what, 7 times 1 minute 23. 2 minutes 40. Let me get back to you on that one, Jim, and I'll tell you exactly how many laps I think they may have to go in this race. At this point, with roughly.
Take your shoes off. You can count that high. Come on.
I can count that high. I can definitely do that.
I'm an asshole.
So 13. So no, that's wrong. What will it be? It'll be 7 times 1.
Now don't screw it up after you just said you could do the math.
So the maths is claiming 8.68 laps
For the leader?
for the leader, which means he needs to try and save a lap and a half worth of fuel. It's a pretty big save, Jim.
I don't know.
I think
I know Bigger can save a lap and a half of fuel.
He doesn't need to. He's already saved a lap prior. He only needs to save half a lap.
That's true.
So I think Biggett can make it. Delgado is ropey for me right now.
Okay,
He's a bit ropey.
What about, well, same thing with Caffrey and Campbell then, because Caffrey went 21, pitted on 21, Campbell pitted on 20.
Yep. They are. Well, no, Campbell, yeah. So Campbell's in the same boat as what Delgado is.
Yeah.
And Caffrey's in the same boat.
Except for the difference is Campbell's not leading. Whereas at least Delgado can try to save fuel since he's leading. Whereas
it's either save fuel or hold up Biggett and save a lap of the race.
Right. Well,
because he could do that. He could try and slow up, so then we do one less lap.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, if you do that at the right time, you can get away with it. Like once you pass a bunch of traffic, if you do it then.
Well, his last lap was a 125, so we could actually calculate it even better. So 7 times 1.25, 8.75, divided by 13. No, that's wrong. I think my maths is wronging right now, Jim.
Yeah, you know, it happens.
Minute 25. Plus minute 25. So 2 laps, 3 laps, 4 laps, 5 laps.
And I have to say, and I just want to another shout out to Cole Malley. Oh my God!
So Jim, with 11 minutes left in this race, as the line's about to be crossed by Cole Malley, with 11 minutes left in this race, 9 laps is the distance.
Okay.
At an average of a minute 25.
Okay, minute 25 is probably a bit on the slow side, though. That was 1 lap.
That's on an average.
Yeah, but they're all lapping in the 124s, the top 10. Even in the 123s.
It may be less than that, actually. If we do this again and I just go 1 minute 24 as an average, let's go 10 minutes.
Let's concentrate on something important while I have the camera on Cole Malley. Of all the outfits and costumes that he's worn, he's got his arms exposed there. He's not a giant.
You know, Jim. Well, you know, Jim. Sun's out, guns out. I mean, he's built like an accountant.
He's really not, though. He's kind of ripped. He's just small. You know, I mean,
he's heavy.
He's lean.
Jim, Cole's heavy lifting comes from Excel spreadsheets.
He's an engineer. He's not an accountant.
No, I know he's an engineer. That's why I'm saying Excel spreadsheets.
Yeah, well, you know, calculus. But yeah, I just couldn't resist that. You know. Oh, hope I didn't just jinx him there. He got all twitchy.
I would be interested to know what Cole's IQ is.
Oh,
because he is a very smart driver.
Oh, it's high, believe me.
And I want to know because I want to compare to my own because I did my own IQ test the other day.
Yeah,
as well.
I've done them over the years too. You know.
Yeah.
You know, I would say.
What did you get, Jim?
I've averaged. It depends on the test, but I've been anywhere from like 145 to like 175, 180, somewhere in there.
145 to 175.
Yeah.
That is like a 99th percentile.
Yeah, yeah. Believe it or not, I'm smarter than I appear. I killed a lot of brain cells, though. Let's just be fair about that. In high school, it was in the 170s.
I got a 130, Jim. I'm in the 97th percentile.
I was third in my high school with IQ, behind my best friend, who was always smarter than me, and this guy who was so bored. He was so smart that he was so bored that he spent an entire semester purposely making a 0 in every class. And I don't mean like just not doing things. He purposely answered everything incorrect, including multiple choice, to make sure that he had a true 0. And
to get a true 0 is ultimately actually probably a lot harder.
Yeah, no, exactly, right. Because you could easily just screw up and put the right answer, right? I mean, no.
You have to know what the wrong answer is.
Yes,
you have to know what the right answer is.
And then he dropped out because he was so bored. And I didn't hear anything about him for 5 or 7 years. And come to find out, he ended up going to medical school, and he's a doctor.
Of course.
But he was just so bored in school, And I mean, I'm not going to lie to you. The Louisiana education system is not the highest in the world, okay, So he was really bored. And we had gifted classes, but they were nowhere near something to humor him. You know what I mean? He was just far beyond that. But yeah, he was just so smart, man. I hated him.
Well, we've got Jack Anderson in the chat with us.
Where is he at, Jack?
He's in the chat. He's saying, I hate to be that guy, but some very average driving out there tonight. Asking, how's the Night Fest going? It's been going pretty good.
Yeah,
the race has been going. I would agree with you that there has been some definitely less than favorable driving out there. I think some drivers definitely need to look at themselves.
I think Bigot is definitely saving fuel because Folker has caught him. And he was 5 seconds back about 3 laps ago.
Well, Delgado is about 9.5 seconds ahead of him now. So if Delgado's ever going to save fuel, he's got to do it now with 9.5 second gap between them. Oh, he would have to, surely.
Yeah, he had
to lose 9.5 seconds. It's a pretty massive. That's a pretty big loss for.
Wait a minute. Okay, hold on.
For him.
This is weird. So on lap 36, this lap, well, they're on 37 now. Last lap, they passed each other like 5 times. What in the world am I doing here? All right, we're gonna go back and put something leading on your camera down there or something.
That's what we're on. We're on Bigot on the live shots here.
Okay. So I just want to see what happened between these two because they apparently got after it. Look at this.
Well, is this maybe what's then dropped the time? Is both of them battling?
Yes, but I am crazy pissed at myself for missing this in general. This is freaking phenomenal. God. This is awesome. I can't believe I missed this.
Some audacious battling for sure, side-by-side action between them. And they're battling away. My God, no wonder they dropped 9.5 seconds to the race leader. So now, if you're Delgado, Jim, you're on the maximum fuel save with that sort of gap. Surely.
You certainly would try, yeah. My question is, though, still how did he get to Bigot that fast? I got to think Nathan was probably trying to save a little fuel. Oh, my God. Folker got caught so bad. Oh, man. But look, he just made it right up, though. Look at that.
Aiden's asked if we can big screen as well. Border kind of makes it up to see night racing.
Oh, well, that's true.
We need the sunshine.
Yeah, well. Yeah, well.
When we head back to live, we'll see that
we're not the ones that pick the races. All right. Yeah, we'll go full screen for a few minutes until something exciting is happening.
And out there as well. Great battling, not hard to miss in pitch black though, Jim. So I think we can give you a pass for that one, since we are in pitch black conditions.
Yeah,
right now.
To be honest, we got sidetracked, and I was talking about high school and shit, and got caught up in the glory days.
Ando said before as well, got caught up in a GT3 trying to pass a GT4 on the outside through grass. And that has really been the case tonight.
Yeah.
Drivers trying to go around the outside of GT4 cars, but just not having the ability to do so, it seems.
Say the word. Go ahead.
Patience, Jim.
Yes, that's right.
Big patience.
Yep, that's the word.
Like, that and spatial awareness. Drivers
yeah, we definitely saw some spatial awareness issues for sure.
Zach Houston on their inside, leave them room.
Zach Houston has made it back. Wait a minute. Okay, no, he's still okay. Wait a minute. What the hell?
He's 2.5 seconds away. He's actually catching Kurt Basler at a rate of knots right now.
Michael Caffrey. What the hell happened to Michael Caffrey?
Where is Michael? Oh, he's had an off track. Michael Caffrey has had a big off track. I'm trying to find him so I can see what's happened. So he's come out of pit lane. So Michael's had to pit. He's come out of pit lane. He's had Matt Lass and the GT4s on his inside, and then they made contact.
Okay. You remember at the start of the race when I said I wanted to revisit because you said it was pissing easy to come out of pit lane here?
Wow.
And I said I wanted to revisit it. That is exactly why I wanted to revisit it right there.
Yeah.
Because, yes, it dumps you out, but it dumps you out right into turn one. And you got guys coming off that straightaway doing top maximum speed. And that's exactly what happened there. Even that GT4 thought he could get around him because he was flying so fast.
Well, it means now that Houston is right on the back of Kurt Basler.
Yes.
So pit stops are plenty tonight for some drivers. And I mean, well, Jack's saying there at the end of the back straight, out of all places, people need to pick their places better. And I agree.
Oh my God, we just lost. Who was that? That was Basler.
So that's given Zach Houston P2. But I believe Zach should need to pit because he pitted on lap 17.
Oof. Oh yeah, he's
although he is well past his previous limit. It would have been lap 34. He would have had to have
pitted because of that incident he had, didn't he? No,
he pitted because he wanted to undercut.
Oh, that's right, undercut. That's right.
The leader of the class.
Yeah, he's way past that. Well, remember I asked. I said, "Do you think he can make it from there, or does he think he can make it from there?" Well, at this point, he thinks he can.
I think the Porsches can. I think the Porsches are so good at fuel saving.
So they all just decided to play the undercut strategy because that was so weird that they were all pitting early.
I think so.
Well, what the hell happened to Basler? Let's go find Basler's incident and play it. I don't want to. I want to stay on these battles we got going on here, but although they're not super close anymore because first and second in Pro-Am is 10 seconds, but.
So Houston comes up his inside. He tries to take too much speed through turn one to get back on the power and around the rear end's gone.
So
classic Porsche.
No contact though. It was just
no
a
contact.
Porsche.
He's lost,
Porsche.
Yeah, he's lost it on his own.
Yeah, well,
unfortunately him.
As from our friend Porsche doing Porsche things, but Folker is back all over Nathan Biggett's ass here.
He's right on him in the battle for P2. We've got less than a minute on the clock, 15 seconds and counting, by the way. Is this going to be the checkered flag for Ricardo Delgado, or is it going to be the white flag? He thinks it's going to be the checkered. He has saved enough time to get the checkered flag. Ricardo Delgado wins in Indianapolis, with Nathan Biggett going to survive in P2 to Derek Fulker in an all-time battle to the end between them. Lance Campbell as well for the GT3 Pro-Am class. We'll come around the final few corners. Where is Jed Cotterman? He's a little bit behind them. Where's Cole Malley? Cole Malley's got a bit to go as well, so that's fine. So Lance Campbell will win it for the Pro-Ams here tonight. Just ahead of Zach Houston. About 1.6 seconds was the gap in the end. And then Jed Cotterman is going to win in his home race in the AM class.
Where are you getting home race for him?
He said it was his home race, Jim.
I didn't say that.
He told me.
He said it was his home race? Maybe that's where he's from. He didn't live there, though.
Maybe.
Yeah, maybe where he's from. I don't know, but he doesn't live there. He lives much further south.
I know he doesn't live there.
Yeah.
I know he doesn't live there, but that might be where he's from.
All right, where's Cole at here?
Well, Cole's coming in towards the final sector now.
I hope that Jed turns off night racing. I really do. I would love to be able to see these cars.
Let's get a morning race, Jim. Let's get it starting at
Oh,
like 6 a.m.
I do a Sunday morning race here on the channel. It's called Coffee Cup, and it's a GT3 league, and they set it up to start, and they race in the morning. Like 8 a.m. It's 9 a.m. Eastern time. They set it up where when they start practice, the sun is just barely coming up. So the whole entire practice session and it's that morning transition. You get the beautiful sunrises and it's great. I love that. I love it. So you get 2 slowdowns. What does that mean? Are those guys going to suffer penalties because of that? Unserved slowdowns?
Well, if it's unserved slowdowns, they're gonna get penalized.
Well, that's what I'm saying. You got Folker here, who's in third, but I don't know what the penalty is. Well, we'll see right here in the results, I guess, because he won't be third if it's. All right, let's do the results. Let's tell you what. Let's do them by class, just because it's easier. Let's start with we'll start with the pros.
Well, for the pro results,
he's showing in third here. So
yep, it is Delgado ahead of Bigot and Fulker, but the penalty would get posted post race, Jim, by iRacing, so it actually won't get classified until till you actually leave the session. That's when it would actually classify the penalty post session.
Okay. So yeah, go ahead and run down the pro results here.
Well, through the pro results, we'll find, as provisional as they are, Delgado, Bigot, Fulker, Guilherme Oliveira, P4, Bock, Gross, Patron, Jack Anderson, 12 laps down the first non-finisher, and then Michael Anderson, who had an unfortunate run here tonight. Yes. And P9 in the end to but hard charge though. Anderson up 13 positions. Nice little shout out there to his Twitch where he live streams the races, twitch.tv/JJAndo there.
There you go.
For you. So there you go, Jack. Get the hard charger each week. You get to show off. You get to show off your Twitch. For the Pro-Am finishing order, it is Lance Campbell who wins in the end over the Porsche duo of Zach Houston and Kurt Basler, the German. Out there, Harrison Holiday, David Stein at the top 5. Ty Baxter, Justin Welsh, Lorenzo Araujo ahead of Jason Holland, Jordan Butler. And then it's DeMarco Caffrey and Rodrigo Darcy for the end of the Pro-Am class.
How about them incidents there for Jordan Butler?
Yeah, I know.
All right, let's see. Am class here.
For the amateur class, Jed Cotterman wins once again, now ahead of Jamie MacArthur, Chet Miller, John Swan, Mark Ogier, Greg Lawrence, Wes Adams, James Leneven, Jacob Cotterman, Eric Cruz. That horrid race last week at Road America, pretty much null and void now, with Jacob not finishing this one either. So that has only helped Jed Cotterman get his way back to, championship dominant form here this evening. And over to our GT4 as well. 5-0 for Cole Malley at this point. 5-0 for Cole Malley. John Voigt, Tim Schaefer, the podium ahead of Matt Lass, Michael Smith, Chris Grondin, Cameron Oldfield, Brandon Bassina, Eric Fernandez, Herschel Lawrence ahead of Corey Patton, Aiden Carley, and DJ Patterson. Yeah, those incidents.
31 incidents for Eric Fernandez.
I would be interested, Jim, in looking at and being a part of the review panel for this race in terms of the driving standards. Ultimately,
I don't want no part of that.
There was some great racing, Jim. Ultimately, a lot of drivers need to tighten the screws on their racecraft.
I mean, I won't disagree with that, but I don't want to be no part of the evaluation process. I can tell you that. All right, so let's see here. Since we basically have no picture, because
we're gonna have to go right back to the race start, pretty much, Jim, when the
dark.
Sun's up.
Yes. So you know what? I'm just gonna leave the results up. We'll just do it that way. All right, so let's see who we got. First of all, I want to give a shout out. I don't even know if he's in here. I don't have any idea, but I know that today or yesterday, that Cole Malley said that if he won, that he wanted to know if we could take somebody else from the GT4 class and pull him in place of him, because he wanted some of the other drivers to get some airtime because they were deserving and doing a great job and all of those things. He is in here, and I do not currently see any other GT4 drivers in here. So we will let's pull Cole in, and we'll start there.
Cole Malley.
Hello.
Mr. Five-time. I have to start calling you Booker T because you're really bringing the Harlem Heat this season.
Oh my
5-0 at
gosh.
this point. Be
The
careful,
Harlem
Hogan.
Heat. I would say
There
you could
The
not
deep
get any further than from Harlem Heat than Cole Malley. Okay,
What do you mean?
he is so
Jim-
not Harlem Heat.
Jim,
Let's just say
Jim,
that.
what do you mean? Cole
What do I
is
mean?
A black queen. You should know this by now, Jim. Cole
What?
Malley is obviously a black queen amongst black queens.
Yes, he is. He is the epitome of Harlem Heat.
Yes, exactly.
So look, real quick, Cole, I want to shout out to you. I saw your post in the chat thing earlier this week where you were asking if you could give up your spot if you won to have another one of the GT4 drivers come in and chat, because there's so many high quality, worthy drivers in GT4. And I want to say that was amazing for you to offer that. And I will say, for the future, if this happens again and you want to do that, encourage one of those other podium drivers to come in, and let them do it. That is a real generous offer on your part, and it's great to see you acknowledging your fellow competitors and league mates, because we can't lose sight of the fact that you guys all practice together, race together. You know, this is it's a league. There's friendships and all those things involved as well.
Yeah, and I mean, we all do this for fun. So,
Right.
sharing the love.
There you go. That's awesome. So, but that being said, congratulations, Mr. Five-time. Harlem Heat. I just can't even. I'm sorry.
I could just picture Hamish cringing.
Yes. Oh, yeah. I'm sure. Yeah.
Don't worry. There is going to be a.
There'll be a Harlem Heat meme now with your face on it.
There's going to be a Google Gemini. There's going to be a Google Gemini AI photo of Cole as Booker T.
Well,
in WCW.
then I would have to say that him exposing those gigantic guns this evening was perfect for the Harlem Heat photo.
Exactly.
All right, we're just having a little fun with you, but yeah, congratulations, man. I mean, obviously, we've said it all this season already. You're just killing it, man, and I'm so excited to see you move up next season. I think you're ready, and I can't wait to see what you bring to the GT3 field. I really do. I'm super excited for that.
Well, great. I
In
appreciate
fact,
it. Thank
I would
you guys.
say if you clinch the championship early, I would say that you should move on up at that point and get you some time in a GT3 car under pressure before the season's over. If you happen to clinch the championship early.
Well, I'll tell you what, if the leadership chooses that for me, I'm certainly not going to complain. My GT3 is much worse than my GT4 because of this league. I've had so much practice, but it'd be a great opportunity.
Yeah, it'd be great. It'd be good to see too. You got anything, Hamish, before we cut him loose here?
Oh, I think just we'll wait till he becomes King Booker and he gets.
You're working on that meme right now, aren't you?
No,
you are.
No. That's a job for later.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, congratulations again, buddy. You got anybody you want to shout out to? Feel free.
I want to shout out to the league admins. I want to shout out to you guys. I want to shout out to my wife. And as always, the GT4 drivers. Thank you, guys. I appreciate it. And have a great night.
All right, man. Thank you. All right. Who you want next?
Well, might as well drag them in by their class, and we'll get ourselves Mr. Jed Cotterman in next from the GT3 amateur class.
Are you saying that Jed Cotterman is low class? Did I understand that correctly?
No, I would argue maybe
he's underclassed.
Maybe?
He's underclassed. Would you say that?
I think so. No, I think so.
All right.
What do you reckon, Jed?
I know you're not talking about me.
No, we
not
wouldn't.
really.
No, you're the one that pays the bills. We love you. So, two things. Congratulations on a great win tonight. Can you stop doing freaking night races, please? So we can see the cars.
This was not supposed to be a night race.
Neither was the last one.
Dude, I know.
Can
I
you
didn't
fix
have
that
a
up?
chance to. I'm going to. I'm going to
So,
tomorrow. As soon as I get there,
Oh,
I will. I'll fix it.
Aiden Kylie's in there saying move Cole up now. But no. So next thing is, congratulations on coming back and getting a win this week. We talked briefly about your frustration, and the reason we did that is, people have no idea how hard it is to manage one of these leagues, especially a huge league like this with 50-car grid and stuff like that. And we talked about the frustration that you had with the driving standards, and you took a few days to contemplate it and all of that. And I know that you kind of are taking a different attitude with it right now, and I just wanted to, thank you for, for sticking in there, and I know it's tough, and I just wanted to give you some props for that.
No, I appreciate it, Jim. I know I've had a couple people reach out to me and kind of give me the big brother, if you will, you included, and sometimes that's all it takes. Like we were saying, like I expect 50 guys to come out here and race like I do, and it's just not a reality.
That being said, you had two incident points tonight. I just wanted to point that out. So
yeah, the thing about Indy is the less you drive, the faster you are. And I tell you, it has taken me so long to figure that out, and practicing and whatnot. It's just kind of all started to come together. Consistency and comfortability in the car. It's I don't know. I'm looking forward to.
This is a weird track.
I'm looking forward to.
It's a different kind of track.
Yeah, the inside has got its, like 2 and 3 is a fast sweeper, and then you got like
I
the
personally
S's
think
between 7 and 10.
I personally think the hardest thing about Indy that people don't realize is this thing is so flat. There's no camber in any of these turns. So many racetracks you go to, the turns have a little bit of camber in them, and you can kind of pack the car in there, and it kind of loads up as you're going through the turn because there's a little bit of camber, and it can even be the slightest amount. Here at Indy, that's not the case. Most of these turns are absolutely flat, and the car just doesn't pack into the turn the same way. It has a tendency to want to slide.
Yeah, and they've been a little gracious with some of the curbing. You can abuse, you can abuse some of them pretty good, but others, it's not a good idea. But I am looking forward to moving up. So it's said. I will be moving up. I may even jump Pro-Am and go straight pro.
Well, let's not get carried away now. No, I'm kidding.
I may. I don't know, man. I'm having a lot of fun, and
Good.
I think that's
what it's all about. And that was the whole point of my message to you this past week, was that you need to find a place where you're having fun with this, because otherwise it's hard as hell to do this. It's hard as hell to run a league like this if you're not having fun. And you got so many good guys in here that you just need to, enjoy the camaraderie of that. And but now, one more question for you. Why did you tell Hamish that this is your home race?
I was born and raised in Indianapolis.
Okay, well, I figured it had to be that.
Greenfield, 30 minutes east of Indy.
Okay,
but,
all right.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're an Indiana boy, Midwest boy.
Yeah, I am a Hoosier.
Oh, God. So see, now you're ready to claim that because Indiana won the damn national championship.
No.
Now you're ready to claim
support
that.
The home teams. I'll hide my face during the Colts games, and I'll.
That's pretty funny.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, yeah. Now all of a sudden you're a proud Hoosier, huh? Look, they won the national championship. Now I'm a Hoosier. I'm just messing with you.
I'm going to wear a Hoosier shirt next week just for you.
Exactly.
I got a Pacers shirt, Caitlin Clark shirt. You never know.
Yeah. The Caitlin Clark shirt would probably be the most appropriate, but that's another story entirely.
Yeah.
A fiery competitor is what I meant. A fiery competitor.
Yeah.
She is that. All right, buddy.
Yeah, she's great. But no, I do appreciate you reaching out. I know.
Of course.
The past 2 or 3 seasons, we've gotten to be, I'd say more
friends
than
for
just
sure.
acquaintances, but friends.
Yeah, for sure.
So it was nice, and everything you said I took to heart. And we had a little powwow in the Discord, and I gave a pretty heartfelt speech in the drivers' meeting today. And I got to tell you, from a driver's point of view, I don't know what you guys saw, but from my point of view, this was a hell of a race. So
It was a great race, Jed, but there was definitely some things the drivers need to fix up.
There's still some
in
things
terms
that need to
of,
be addressed for sure.
driving standards.
Yeah,
but,
I
it was a great
know.
race.
I know. Guy sent it into me and flew by me in turn 7. I was kind of expecting it, but I'm gonna go back and watch it, and we'll just as long as we can progress a little each week,
There you go.
I'm so happy with that.
There you go. That's
as long as we're moving forward, as long
exactly,
as it's
yes.
a few steps versus 6 steps back, I'm good. So
Yeah, well,
kudos to you guys.
Like I
Thank
said, you started off the season on some brutal ass tracks, man. And
yeah, and I think that's a lot of it too. It was I chose the tracks.
Oh yeah, it's all on you for sure.
It was definitely it could have been better.
Both leagues are blaming you for that now. That's pretty funny.
It's all good.
All right, man. Hey, congratulations again, and I'm sure we'll be talking to you a few more times this season before you move up.
I hope so. I hope so. We'll see.
We'll talk to you.
All right, see you.
All right, go get us a pro winner, or no, pro-am winner. I keep forgetting where we're at.
Oh, we got Mr. Lance Campbell waiting in the wings for the Pro-Am class this evening. Lance, welcome in. Congratulations. Race win in the Pro-Am class. It was quite chaotic amongst you guys battling away. Looked to be Michael's to win, but then a mistake out of pit lane for him gave you the race lead and got yourself one hell of a race win here at Indianapolis. Congratulations.
Yeah, I knew you'd be pulling for Caffrey, but I made sure I stayed on him.
Yes,
this man does not understand my love for Canada.
That's true. Now I have to say, he may be Australian, but he does love him some damn Canada. That ain't no lie.
Okay.
I'm telling you, man.
It was a tough race.
Now the important question is he's going to ask you is what hockey team do you support?
Well, I mean, I live just north of Toronto, so
he's definitely a Leafs fan.
Okay.
I lean that way. Yeah.
I was gonna say to you, Jimmy's probably a Leafs fan, and I'm right.
Yeah. Well, so he doesn't hate you for that, I don't think. As I've learned.
I feel more sorry for Leafs fans than anything actually, Jim, at this point. But
he's.
But you see, I'm old, so I remember the old guys that played for the Leafs, like Boreas Salming and guys like that.
If only it was that time period again.
I don't know. Stop it. No.
Lost you, Jim.
Hey, so I got to say, man, been an interest. Yeah, you lost me a long time ago when you said hockey. That's where you lost me. Although I would have been a great hockey player at 6'8", 295 pounds, I would have been.
You've been a great goalie, Jim.
I would have been a terror on the ice. But So I do want to say, Lance, it's good to see you up here. We obviously followed your journey in the GT4 class and stuff like that, and then moving up. And you've been super fast since you got in here. Have you gotten a win in GT3 before tonight?
No,
I didn't think so.
I missed the first 2 races.
Yes, and then you were up there, and something happened. But okay, I thought so.
Folk and I got in a little tap there.
That happens. That's what my memory. That's what I thought happened. That you've been in contention since you got here. You've been really fast since you got here.
Doing my best.
Yeah, I mean. And I'm honestly looking for kind of the same thing with Cole Malley. He's kind of following in your footsteps. Taking advantage of the GT4 this season, and I can't wait to see him move up as well. But yeah, man, you've really shown out since you got in the GT3. You honestly seem almost more comfortable in this car.
Oh, it's a nicer car to drive.
Well, there you go.
It's easier to drive when you have more horsepower, right?
Well,
you can get rotation with the throttle.
That's
stuff
true.
Like that.
That is true.
Where the GT4, it's all about just trying to stay off the brakes. But
Yeah, all good points. But yeah, super excited that you got your win finally. But really excited to just that the way that battle was shaping up tonight with the three of you, and then kind of one by one they kind of fell off the. Something happened to them. And it kind of fell away, but there was one point there. It was looking like it was going to be a three-way fight for the whole race, and it was looking so fun.
it was. We've been close for a while, and then traffic could really separate us. So it was tough to stay up there. But I'm really happy with how things are going, and I look at this year as my beginner year for GT3s. Sure. I'm not used to how aggressive the pros are at the front. So I've, like, on the first couple laps, I lost a few positions, and it's just something I'll have to learn.
I'm pretty sure you'll adapt.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you're a good driver, so I have no doubt
sure
that you're gonna adapt. So, Hamish, you got anything?
Yeah. No, I think it's great to obviously see this start to pay off for you now, Lance. So we've been watching you get better and better every single season thus far, and I mean it's great to see you get to this point of success. To get yourself this race win. I know it was obviously a tough to try and get you to this point, but I mean you've well and earned it, and I think that. Out of anyone out there to have earned the win like this, you've done a top effort, because I know you've been struggling in this car, obviously, over the first few rounds of this season. So it's good to see.
All right,
buddy. I'm sure we'll talk.
Bud.
I'm sure we'll talk to you again before the season's over. I have no doubt.
Well, I'll do my best to talk to you again.
All right, man.
Okay, take care, guys.
No worries. Thanks so much, Lance.
All right, bye-bye.
Lance Campbell, GT3 Pro M winner here this evening. Next up, we have our GT3 Pro winner who extends his championship lead after tonight's event. It is Ricardo Delgado. Ricardo, welcome in. Congratulations. Race win. And you extend this championship lead now after what was a tough race for you last week out at Road America. How does it feel now to come into tonight, come into Indianapolis, and just get an absolute all-time win over Brickyard? I mean, 9 seconds. You managed to save the race by going a lap longer, by slowing down slightly towards the end of the race. But a phenomenal race win, sir. Congratulations.
Thanks. Yeah, I didn't play no field games this time. I knew I had the pace and just went for it. Last race didn't pay off, so we went for it. Last race, I had the pace, but even having the pace, the GT4 traffic was too much to catch up to the leader last race. So on this one, I just went for it with all the pace.
I mean, it paid off for you this time. Obviously, race win in the books, for that reason. Obviously, Interlagos is our next event, obviously, where it's going to be a 90-minute race, probably a little bit more of a fuel game again. Is the mentality going to change going into that one, or are you going to try and carry this mentality now throughout the rest of the season in the hopes that you can win the championship?
Yeah, we'll adjust for it, see how Interlagos is basically not that fuel consumption track, since you're almost always on the brakes and making turns. It's only one long straight, but it should play good. We'll see how it goes. Traffic is going to be interesting, though.
Yes.
Oh, we mentioned that tonight that Indianapolis is probably on the scale of around about a 3 out of 5 in terms of difficulty for traffic management. I see next week being at around about maybe a 4 out of 5 because of the pace discrepancy between a GT4 and a GT3 car. Are you feeling the same way, or do you think it's going to be a little bit harder amongst this field in particular to deal with that traffic next week at Interlagos?
I mean, we'll see. The difference, not so much on top speed, but on the braking ability of the GT3 is considerably better. So it's gonna play out how the GT4 do their lines and let us probably take the outside line, but we'll see how it plays.
Well, it's been an absolute pleasure to speak to you once again, Ricardo, after such a great race win for yourself. Is there anyone you want to give a shout out to before we let you go this evening?
Sure. Thanks to you for doing the broadcast and Jet also for bringing the league together. And special thanks to SimPR, which is the racing team that I race for Puerto Rico. And then hopefully we can bring more people here.
Well, we hope so as well. Massive appreciations to you once again, Ricardo. Best luck next week at Autodromo Jose Carlos Pache, and we'll see if you can continue to raise the game here in the pro class and maybe win yourself the championship this season as well.
We'll give it a go. Thanks, guys.
No worries. Thanks so much. Well, it's been great to speak to our race winners once again, Jim. Great to get them in here and chatting along with us as well. And I think one thing that, I think is exciting all of us is, how is Autodromo Jose Carlos Pache going to go for us next week? 90-minute race. Traffic management tonight was an issue for some drivers. Is it going to be a similar feature next week? I think it may be. But how much is it going to affect them, I think, is going to be the real question on the tip of everybody's tongues.
Yeah, I mean, I don't disagree with that. We've been there with this series before, and to the best of my recollection, at that time, traffic management didn't seem to be as huge of an issue, but the cars were different. The GT4s that was before the aero and tire model change on those cars, and now they are quicker in a straight line and they don't brake as well as they used to. And they have less aero, which is also what makes them faster. So it will be a different race. So we'll see. But I also have to say, I think we're seeing a significantly larger amount or significantly more aggression in the GT3 drivers now than we were back then as well, which is also potentially causing problems. Not that it's their fault, but just that the way they're handling traffic and the way the GT4s are reacting to it is just different. And I think people are still adjusting and stuff like that. We've got some pretty fast GT3 drivers in this field, and they're pretty aggressive, and they don't necessarily, some of them don't necessarily have the famous P word, patience, So we'll see. But I tell you what, I am super excited for Interlagos, and it doesn't matter how much traffic difficulty there's going to be. I have no doubt that Interlagos will produce good quality racing, exciting racing. I
agree. I think it is going to be very, very difficult for us to get a poor race out of Interlagos. I think it's going to be a very, very exciting time for us to go racing. You guys can find all that action once again next Thursday night right here on Motormouth Broadcasting. Be sure to hit the like button, to subscribe, the bell icon too, so you're notified whenever we go racing right here on the channel. We want to give a quick shout out as well, obviously, to all our sponsors here for Motormouth Broadcasting. Of course, our newest sponsor, the Roasted Record down in Florida. You can get yourself a tune and a brew. You can also order online as well. Use code SIM20 to get yourself a cheeky discount on on some records, on some delivered to your door coffee. You can then make yourself at home. You can taste what they make down there. Some great products that they have on offer for us, as well as DRE Digital Race Engineer, long-time partner of the channel, and as well Track Cams by Gourmet too, which brings the action to life for us here on the circuits whenever we go racing. Coming up tomorrow for you, it is double NASCAR truck action with Oakhouse Racing. And actually, no, it's not double action.
No, it's not double tomorrow.
MVRL are away this week. I'm wrong. I get a day off.
I get a night off. That's right.
Oh, that's going to be such bliss, Jim.
I know, right?
I'm so looking forward to that.
It's going to be good. So, we have Oakhouse Racing tomorrow, and Friday, Bite Point, the Bite Point Racing GT Challenge Series, which is LMP2s and GT3s. A lot of excitement there. Great series. Really, really, really fun. A lot of similar guys. I mean, there's different, but a lot of these guys are in that series as well. And as you can tell, the racing action is good here, and it's just as good over there. So, a lot of good stuff. Got some new NASCAR stuff kicking back off on the weekends. A lot of things going on here. But if there's anybody out there who has an IndyCar league or even an Indy Next league, but I would prefer an IndyCar league, we would absolutely love to find a spot for you in our lineup. Hamish and I are desperate to do an IndyCar league. So if that is, if you're out there and you're listening and you're a part of an IndyCar league and you think they might want to get broadcasted, get in touch with us.
Please do. Please get in touch with us. We want to be a part of your league, make your league a part of our network here on Motormouth Broadcasting, and make it a very, very special place for you guys to go racing as well. So please get involved. Please get in touch with us. We want to be able to go racing with some IndyCar stuff in the near future.
Yes.
So yeah, please do. We that's one thing that we want to really, really hammer home is we want to try and expand the horizons on where we're going racing. I've never had the chance to call IndyCar. I want to call IndyCar. So let's get it. It's NASCAR's great.
Yes.
And I've called plenty of NASCAR stuff now. Give me some IndyCar, please. So please get in touch with us.
Yeah, in fact, I would even go as far as to say open wheel in general. Super Formula Lights, but mainly IndyCars, Indy Next. That type. So that's really, I'm just super excited to try out some of my new IndyCar software that I've got for the push to pass and things like that. And I like those cars, so I really, really want to do a series with IndyCar. So. Yeah. All right. Say good night, Hamish.
Night, Hamish.
Okay, now you can really say good night.
Okay. Thank you everyone for joining us once again. We'll see you guys next time here for the Full Throttle Nation Ultimate GT Championship, brought to you by the Roasted Record. We'll see you guys next time. We're racing at Otto Trombo, Jose Carlos Pache. But until then, I'm Hamish Runner with Jim Cunningham alongside. Stay safe, drive hard, and as always, bye for now.